Hey hustlers, welcome back to another episode on Ingrid_project. Today, I will tell you why you should just go ahead and book the resort. Because when you are low on PTO and on a crunch for time, you are bound to make reckless decisions, such as myself. Luckily for you, I have already made the mistakes for us, so you get to learn and be different. Last year, yes, it was last year. Time goes by fast. I was going to start a new role. And in starting that new role, I was going to have a bit of vacation time in between. I wanted to make the most of that time. And what did I decide to do? I decided to go on vacation. Now, during this time of the year, there were several hurricanes and natural disasters happening around our world, which limited my options. You see, I am a gal that likes to go to tropical places for vacation. My idea of vacation is sipping a Mai Tai on the beach and getting my toes in the sand. Well, upon limited decisions, I decided to go to Mexico. However, you see, I've gone to Mexico a few times, but I had never gone to Cancun. And I am someone that usually, for vacation, I quite much enjoy doing an Airbnb and being an outdoor explorer adventurer. This is why things such as cruises or staying at a resort have never quite appealed to me, because I don't foresee myself really being at the place that I'm staying at, other than sleeping. However, in this occasion, I decided, you know what, I want to treat myself. If you've looked at my other videos, during this time, I was finishing paying off my first investment property. And after being in the grungy land of hustle land and working multiple jobs in order to make my final payment, which I did, by the way, succeed at, I wanted to take a time out and I wanted to relax because fuckity fuck, like I was tired. And I thought, you know what if I got an all-inclusive resort? But I thought about it, and it was pricey, but it wasn't crazy. It just felt like too much, and I didn't feel like I was going to make the most of it. So what did I do, hustlers? I made a mistake, that's what I did. You see, and not wanting to pay for this resort, I decided to book an Airbnb instead, which turned into an absolute horror story. I arrived to the Airbnb, upon which I ended up waiting 2 additional hours because they had recently changed the lockbox code and I could not get in. When I finally got in, a few hours later, my AC went out. Because it was the evening, no one could come and repair it until the next morning. Now, I am someone that I don't let things like this get to me. Even though I am paying with my hard-earned money, I just see things as life. And maybe I'm a little bit too laissez-faire for some. But I took it with a grain of salt. I waited for them to come. Now, I had woken up, I had gone out, done some errands, done some shopping, and I came back home. And yes, while Mexico is hot, I was looking forward to a hot and steamy shower before going to bed. To my surprise, there was no hot water, and I was sitting there with my arms stretched out, waiting and waiting and waiting for the hot water that never came. At this point, I had sent a message over to my Airbnb host, and they sent someone over. Now, this person came, they supposedly fixed the water, and then I was actually left with no water at all. Now, they had told me that I was going to have to wait about 12 hours while they did XYZ, and that then my water would be back on. That was not the case, and when the water did come on, there was still no hot water. At this point, I lost my marbles because the Airbnb host asked me if it would just be alright if I just had cold water during my stay, because they wanted to come the next day and they needed me there. Now, at this point, it's been 3 days at my Airbnb, each day with different inconveniences, and I'm having to stay at the Airbnb to have the handy people come and fix said appliances. So I said no, and I went online and I went ahead and booked my resort. Best decision ever. I took my taxi to the resort, which, by the way, I didn't know this. In Cancun, there's different strips, and although the Airbnb that I had booked was within a sort of city center, all of the things that you actually want to do are on said strip. So I actually went to go stay at the strip. I stayed at a resort, and my oh my, was it wonderful. I did not stay at the bougiest one. I stayed at a very normal one, and although I did bear the embarrassment as per usual, showing up to the dining hall and being asked for how many people and getting the strange looks when I say, it is just me. Table for one, please, while I have families and families behind me upset waiting because they want to eat with their children and their husbands and all of that, and I am taking up a table for 6 by myself. It does not matter. You go, you enjoy. I had my drinks, I sat at the bar, I had my dinner, my breakfast, all of the things. And to my surprise, I ended up making friends on this trip. Now, of course, as you can tell, this was a solo trip, and my dear hustlers, do not wait for a man to take you on these holidays. Take yourself, because let me tell you, if you are going to wait your entire life to share experiences with your significant other, there are a few things that are going to happen. One, you are going to miss out because you do not know when Prince Charming is coming and if ever. And also, you do not want to be swept off of your feet this way. You need to give yourself royal treatment so that no crusty dusty comes and swoops you off your feet with the bare minimum. That is, of course, if you have high standards, which, my hustlers, if you are here and you are a hustler, I think that you do. Anyway, I ended up making friends on this trip that I am still very close to, and it was absolutely fantastic. I went and partied, I made friends, I had one too many cocktails, I enjoyed shows, I had a fantastic time, and of course, I had a facial and a massage, and I did lay on the beach and had my Mai Tais and some margaritas. And I also worked out because, of course, I was doing the 300 challenge. Why not? And it was absolutely amazing. So, the next time that you're asking yourself, should I pay for this more convenient, lower priced Airbnb, or should I actually treat myself to this resort that I can afford and that I worked very hard for and that's going to have all the amenities and the things and I'm going to use it and make the most of it? My hustlers, the choice is clear. By all means, get the resort.